this car, it is a magic from Volkswagen. To 8 months ago, they just brought the pre-fabricated Arteon, and suddenly this year they brought just 1 year. They brought the facelift because our Malaysian market, it takes a bit late to launch the Arteon. I don't know why. There's some reasons. Back in 2017 they just revealed the details, but just in 2020 the Arteon facelift has a better appearance, better interior, and a lot of stuff has been upgraded. Okay, and it's even surprising in terms of the specifications, so we're going to talk about that. Okay, and the pricing increasement and what is the changes. So let's move to the details. Okay, so first of all, this is using the 2-liter turbocharged engine just like the previous Arteon, and this is not front wheel drive like the previous Arteon or the Audi A5. This is now 4-wheel drive, which is so called as, in Volkswagen language, so called as 4Motion. Okay, so which means it's a 4-wheel drive car, 280 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. If you look at that figures, do you remember when Arteon have a 200 horsepower plus of engine? So the previous version has 180 horsepower, and now it brings 280 horsepower, and this will be the R line. Okay, just like the previous version, so it's even more sporty actually, and because the engine is slightly upgraded. Okay, 280 horsepower, that's a 90 horsepower increase, and 350 Newton meters of torque. That's so good because the UK variant has 50 Newton meters of torque more than the Malaysian spec. Okay, so I don't understand why they have lagged in that part. Maybe they could have offered the 400 Newton meters of torque. If not, it will match up to the 330i, C300 and many cars out there. Okay, so it is also locally assembled. Okay, luckily it was locally assembled because many people, when they leaked the details, right, many people were crazily into it. Maybe it should be so expensive. Okay, because it's 280 horsepower engine. Okay, so what's the changes in the front end? The front end, it's even cleaner, neater, but you don't know how to tell what's the changes, so I'm going to bring you around it. Okay, the grills has been changed a bit. It's wider, it's lower, and it's sporty as well. Okay, so if you notice the lights, they have some changes. The light housing is the same stuff, but they're fogged a bit. But if you look at in the middle of the part, right, it just continues. There's one strip there, there's a hidden strip there, so it's more luxurious and more sportier than the previous limited version. The lower bumper is slightly redesigned, okay, to give more cooling air intakes. Okay, it's slightly bigger. Basically, the engine has been upgraded, right? Okay, but the price, 20,000 increase. It is priced at 248,000 ringgit. So another 4,000 ringgit, you may get the C200 AMG line, and another it's almost in the same bracket, the 320i Sport. The rear end is slightly changed a bit. Okay, the light strip has the dot lines a bit, and you have some spoilers now, and then the exhaust tips, even though it's fake, but it's good looking. You have some shapes there, so it's kind of a very nice approach for the facelift. Okay, you have now the sequential turn indicators just like the Passat. So this also comes with the DSG wet dual clutch transmission from Volkswagen Group. Okay, and 0 to 100, it cuts from the previous model, it cuts 2 seconds, so it's just sprints in 5.6. If you do not know, there's a fact about this car. This is the first time that Volkswagen introduced their new logo interior. The most important part is you no longer have an analog clock in the middle of the air vents. Instead, they have replaced it with a more angular aircon vents. It looks so futuristic. If you look at it, right, it looks so good actually, because sharper air vents. Okay, it's cleaner, and you have a new steering wheel together with the new ambient light strips. So you have a big differentiations there, and you have the new Discover Pro infotainment system. Okay, so yes, and then the meter panel is slightly different. You have more updated. It's bigly updated compared to the previous version. Okay, and then the rims code name as a Montevideo. Okay, so it's different a bit. And then you have a Napa carbon print leather seats. You also have an upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. It's 700 watt 12 speaker. So if you take a look at the competitors, obviously the C300 has a Bowmaster. It's a branded sound system and it sounds so good. This is from BMW. Okay, so previously the Arteon comes with a Dyna audio sound system. I don't know what brand is that, but now it's upgraded for more upmarket. Okay, keyless entry, push-up button, 9.2 in Discover Pro infotainment system is there for you. Dynamic chassis control, 360-degree camera. It's nicely spec actually. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Luckily, it's not payable like a BMW. Okay, hands-free powered at tailgate, which is good as well. Okay, so yes, you also have gesture control. And then Arteon in safety wise, it's excellent. Okay, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, 6 airbags, ABS, EBD, brake assist. There's a lot of stuff, also ISOFIX. But disappointment. The disappointment is it don't come with a. This is 330 Li. Okay, why there's an Li in there? It's a bit weird, right? Because it is the long wheelbase version of the standard 3 series for our market, India and China. Okay, it's 110 millimeters longer than the standard 3 series, and it's slightly taller than the 3 series, than the standard 3 series. Okay, so this car is now launched and the code name is the G28. So back then they have revealed this car, but no official launching yet. But this one will be the official launch with the pricing of 277,000 ringgit. If you check that price, right, originally it was around 300,000 ringgit, but now they've dropped to 277,000 ringgit. It is nice as well. But do you know what? Under 10 millimeters longer, but you just need to pay 6,000 ringgit extra than the 330i. That's nice. Okay, so obviously if you want more legroom and you don't want to spend in a 7 series or 5 series, save your money, get a 330i. Okay, it's also a boss car. Okay, soon many small companies with the bosses, they will use this car. Okay, I think so. But yeah, it's nice. Okay, so but even though it's under 10 millimeters longer than the standard 3 series, but under 14 millimeters smaller than the 5 series. Okay, yeah, it's still smaller actually. Okay, so the legroom, it's 42 millimeters extended than the standard 330i. We do have that. Okay, 480 liters the boot space. Okay, you have a trapezoid exhaust tips, unlike the 330i which have a rounder tips, but it's like the M340i. Okay, and you no longer get the folding rear seats. I don't know why. Okay, but the 330 Li, it lacks fog lamps. Okay, the lights is not laser lights, still the same lights as the 330i. Okay, and then it also has a better rims. Okay, better rims than the 330i, unlike the 330i has an executive but with a sporty body kit. I don't understand that. Okay, but this one looks proper. Okay, so this also came from the 4 series. Okay, the interior is the same stuff, but unlike the 330i, it's slightly upmarket and slightly higher quality. So you have a synthetic fox leather in the dashboard. Okay, and you have a galvanic switch here, the silver galvanic switch here. So it's premium, it's nice, it's premium. Okay, and there's a comfort seats, but it's more highly bolstered than the regular 330i, so you have more high quality seats. Okay, it's more comfortable nonetheless. Okay, you have a panoramic glass roof, but I don't understand why they call this as a panoramic roof, because it's small. Okay, but luckily you do have that. Okay, just be happy with that. Okay, and then you have a key wireless charging, but it's not presented in this car because of due to the chip shortage. They could not supply the wireless charging. But where do we charge the digital key? Okay, so other than that, the infotainment screen is just the same thing from any BMW. It's not special or whatever. Okay, there's also a 10 speakers just with the standard sound system. Okay, keyless entry, push start button, everything is there. But you have an hands-free tailgate but with manual close. Okay, just like the 330i. Driving assistant, autonomous emergency braking. Okay, the horsepower is 258 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque, same as the 330i. Okay, so you have a different suspension. Okay, servotronic steering and comfort suspension, so it's comfortable. It's not as stiff as the 330i, and then you have a mocha brown interior. Okay,